and money. You have 3 cards to choose from left to right: card 1, card 2, and card 3. Pause the video if you need some more time to choose, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, card group 1. So your message about your career and finances is that you guys still have some shadow healing to do when it comes to your finances and career. And this is what's blocking you from having a successful career and having stable finances. It's limiting beliefs and stuff that's stored in your shadow that comes from a past life because of this Go the Distance card. And you've worked through a lot of it in this lifetime already. So even though it feels like you're stagnant, you have worked through a lot of it, but there's still more to work through. So I pulled some cards from the archetype deck to see like what do you need to work through or what's buried in your shadow when it comes to your finances and career. One of the cards we got was Rebel. So I don't see you guys doing a traditional job. Your soul wants to do something that's unconventional. So if you're trying to go down the straight and narrow path and trying to do a job that's conventional, you're not going to find success in that path. We also have Child Divine. Your career is supposed to utilize your connection to the divine. So you guys all have a connection to the divine, and you guys are supposed to be channeling somehow through and using your connection to the divine to bring about abundance and bring about any kind of creation. And we also have this Midas Miser card. It says entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold. So you guys are supposed to be entrepreneurs. You're not supposed to be working for other people. You're supposed to use a creative ability that is channeled from the divine. So that's how you're going to make your money in this lifetime. We have the Hedonist card. Sorry, you can't really see it. There we go. You guys, what's buried in your shadow here with this card is that you guys want to make a lot of money. And you guys are trying to sort of tell yourself mentally that you don't want to make a lot of money, that you just want to make a decent amount so that you can be comfortable. You're trying to convince yourself about that because you've had issues in the past with just being comfortable. So you kind of feel like, okay, if I don't be too greedy, if I'm not too greedy, then perhaps I'll actually be able to be comfortable. So you're trying to tell yourself, well, I don't need that much. I just need, input whatever amount you want here. And that's going to allow me to do this, and that. It's going to allow me to have a small house or have a condo, have a car, and maybe put a little bit away for retirement. And I'm not going to have to stress about finances. That's all I'm really aiming for. So you're trying to convince yourself that all you're aiming for is comfort and stability because you haven't had comfort and stability. But what's buried in your shadow is that you guys actually want to be filthy rich. You want to have enough disposable income that you can spend on trivial things that most people can't spend money on. You want to be able to spend money on those things. You also want to be able to spend money on your beauty. So doing things at the esthetician's office or whatnot that most people can't afford. You want to be able to do it at the salon, also buying expensive clothes. You guys want to be able to do that. Taking vacations and that sort of stuff. Let me see if I'm seeing anything else. We have this Gambler card. It came out in reverse, so actually I'll put it in reverse. You guys rely on luck a bit too much rather than hard work, because you have a feeling that you're supposed to be wealthy in this lifetime, but you don't know how to get there. And you guys have been relying a bit too much on luck or on fate and of things just working out, and you haven't been putting in hard work. And underneath all of these cards, I do also have the third chakra card here. So it's in reverse, so there is a lack of effort. So that's one thing that's blocking you guys, is a lack of effort, but also putting effort in the wrong direction, in the wrong place. So trying to put effort into being or having a traditional career, that you're wasting your efforts and you're putting your effort into the wrong direction. So once again, you can't have, or you're not supposed to have, a traditional career in this lifetime. It needs to be something creative, something entrepreneurial, something that requires you to use your connection to the divine to bring about some sort of product or service or something like that. You're supposed to create something new on earth. So it doesn't have to be like completely brand new, like something that no one has ever seen before. It could be like a book, for example. Like everyone has read a fiction book, but it could, of course, no one would have read your story that you create. So it's something new. It doesn't have to be completely, that's something that no one has ever seen before, but it has to be something that's new. So this card here that I pulled the bully card while I was kind of playing with the deck, and highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. So again, we've been talking about fears and things suppressed in your shadow. So this card is just reiterating that these fears and these things and these desires, it's not only fears, it's desires. I did tell you a bunch of your desires that you have. If you go back to the hedonist card, the miser cards, etc. These fears and desires are they're kind of manipulating the way you act because they're in the shadow. So you need to bring them to the light. You need to pay attention to them. And if they're desires, you need to heed them. And if they're fears, you also need to heed them, but you need to try to overcome them so that they stop manipulating you in the shadows. So you have some things to work on, some things to heal. And you've done a lot already in this lifetime. There's still some more work to be done, but you need to start listening to your inner desires, because you're listening to your inner desires will lessen your fears, because most of your fears are just like the opposite of your desires. That's why you're bearing your desires, because of the fears. So if you start integrating your desires more and start, being truthful and honest to yourself about your inner desires, it'll start to steer you down the correct path, and you won't be so confused about what you need to do with your life. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that helped you and resonated. Let me know if it did, and I'll see you in my next reading. Hello, card group 2. So the message about your career and finances is that you guys, you're not too dissimilar from pile 1. But you guys I see you guys doing meditations or law of attraction techniques or spell work to further your career or to get to the bottom of exactly what you want to do with your life. But you guys are failing to listen to the intuitive guidance that comes through as a result of the workings that you're doing. We end off your spread with the 2 highest chakra cards, the 6th chakra and the 7th chakra, and the 7th one is in reverse. So I see with the 6, you are indeed getting these downloads, or you're seeing these visions, or you're getting these intuitive nudges. But with the 7th in reverse, I'm seeing that you're not heeding that knowledge. You're not integrating that knowledge. You're not really taking it seriously. So for whatever reason, you might think that what you're seeing can't really amount to a proper career. Or maybe you're thinking it's too far-fetched, or maybe you're thinking it's going to take too long and you need to fix your life right now, and what you're seeing internally, mentally, is too far off into the future. So there could be multiple reasons why you're not paying attention to it. Some of you guys could just be missing it and writing it off as just fanciful daydreams. But they're not fanciful daydreams. They're actually the answers to your prayers. For some of you guys, it could be prayers that you're making. So whatever you guys are doing, the meditation, the law of attraction techniques, the prayers, the spell work, you are indeed getting results. You're getting answers back, but you're not heeding those answers. So what's your... Oh, and also with this devil card in reverse that I used to clarify the broken heart in reverse, you guys are a little bit too attached to like convention. So you have it in your mind that you're supposed to be, or one is supposed to be doing certain types of things for a career, and the visions that you're getting are not matching up. They're not aligning in some manner, somehow. And you're like, okay, so basically it doesn't fit in the box. So if it doesn't fit in the box, you throw it out. Instead of, because you're like, it can't fit in the box, so I have to throw it out, but you don't think to change the size and shape of the box. So you need to change the size and shape of the box instead of throwing out the ideas that are trying to make their way into the box. So I pulled some cards from the archetype deck to see like get an idea of what some of these intuitive nudges could be. And I got the mentor card. Some of you guys want to be teachers, mentors. You have a lot of knowledge or experience in a certain area, and you actually want to guide people who are newer to it or younger than you, and you want to be able to teach something that you are really adept at, but you feel, for whatever reason, you feel like you're not qualified enough on paper to do this, to teach this, or you feel like, even though you have all of the life experience to be able to teach it, or you feel like it's not going to pay enough, or there are no jobs in that particular field because there aren't a lot of people who want to learn this thing. I'm hearing for some of you guys, you should start a YouTube channel because you can teach to people all around the world who speak your language. And if you can't find a teaching position in your area for this niche, whatever this is. So we have this mother card. Mothers also do a lot of teaching, so that helps to strengthen what I just said. But also, some of you guys want to be parents and you don't really want to work. So you have to be truthful with yourself. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you might be receiving some of the intuitive nudges and intuitive downloads that you're receiving could be giving you ways that you could be a stay-at-home mom and to be able to work less or not at all. So that's why you might be throwing it out, because you might be telling yourself, well, there's no way I can be a full-time stay-at-home mom or even a part-time stay-at-home mom or parent. And but that's actually what you want. So you're not being truthful about what you want. Some of you guys want to have kids if you don't have kids yet, but you don't feel like you're in a place career-wise where you can afford to have them. And your intuitive downloads that you're getting are telling you how you can, like what you can do to make yourself more stable so that you can have the space and stability to be able to have kids. We have this Hermit card. Some of you guys are creatives and what you need to do, or what your intuitive downloads that you're getting are trying to tell you to do, is something that requires you to be on your own. And I'm fiddling with the deck in the background, and I pulled the Poet card. So again, creatives. So a lot of you guys are creative. You might be songwriters or something like that. And whatever this is, it would require you to do it on your own in solitude. But you feel like you're dismissing it because you feel like it's too far-fetched, or it's going to take too long, or something like that. So you're dismissing it. But what you really want to do is some sort of creative talent. You want to use some sort of creative talent that requires you to be on your own. And that also kind of harkens back to the mentor card, because a lot of you guys, that what you want to teach utilizes that creative talent of yours, and you want to also teach it to other people. And simultaneously, you want to have a career doing whatever this is. And but again, you feel like it doesn't, harkening back to the Devil card that's underneath here. You are telling yourself that, well, most people in that field don't really have success, so I'm not going to have success if I go down that road, if I try to do that creative thing. So I need to like think of like quote unquote real jobs. So that could be the Devil in reverse that's coming back. So that is what's blocking you for your career and finances. You need to pivot what you're doing. You need to listen to your intuition, because you are receiving the answers to your questions. You guys are somehow asking questions to the universe or to your higher self, to your intuition, whatnot. And you are indeed getting the answers, but you're dismissing them. So you need to pay closer attention to what answers you're getting, and you need to heed those answers, and you need to act upon them, because they're leading you towards where you actually want to be. Your egoic mind, your lower mind, is not going to be able to lead you towards where you want to be. So those are your messages, pile 2. I hope that helped you and resonated. Let me know if it did, and I'll see you in my next reading. Hello, card group number 3. So your message about your career and finances is that you guys are planted exactly where you're supposed to be planted. You are where you're supposed to be. And I see that you guys are having financial issues with this financial constraints card, but it's next to the Sun card. So it's kind of a good thing that you're having these financial issues, and I'll tell you why. You guys, with this round and round card that we start off with, you guys have a tendency to jump around too much, mentally and physically. So you guys may resonate with jumping around from job to job quite frequently. And if it's not physically that you're actually like switching jobs often, you guys are mentally checking out of jobs. So like whenever you're doing one thing, physically, you're mentally thinking about something else. You guys are coming off very heavy, like you have an air sign in your moon placement. I would be surprised if you didn't. Or some other prominent placement that has to do with career. There is probably an air sign in your career placement or your moon placement. So you guys are antsy, and I pulled some cards from the archetype deck to get some more information. And I got the Seeker card, and I got the Hermit card. So with the Seeker card, you're always seeking something. You guys are seeking something. You're trying to find yourself. You're trying to, with it coupled with the Hermit card, I see that you're trying to find yourself, or you're trying to find like where you belong, or you guys have just a lot of interests, but you don't know which interest to pick. So you have a lot of interests that are grabbing at your attention. And so whenever you're fulfilling one interest, another interest is grabbing at your attention. And so you start to feel like, okay, maybe I'm not in the right place. And so those of you who actually leave jobs, then you leave a job and you try to go to another one that's in another field of interest or another place of interest to you. And then when you get there, you realize, or you think, oh, another field of interest grabs your attention and you're thinking, oh, maybe I should be over there and not here. So for you guys, the grass is always greener on the other side, and you can't really plant your feet. You have a problem with planting your feet. So you guys are very all up in the air, all over the place. So, and this is causing you to have financial issues. This is what is causing you to have financial issues, is that you're not putting your full attention towards where you're actually planted and where you actually are. You're not giving it your all. We have this 5 of Cups card here in reverse. So you're not giving it your all. You're not giving it your full attention because you're always thinking about something that you're missing, that you think you're missing. So one way to remedy this is to spend more time doing your hobbies more than you're already doing. Because if you actually partake in your hobbies, the things that interest you, your interests, then you'll be less likely to feel that you're missing out on them because of your job. So make sure to schedule in time to partake in your varied interests, because you guys have varied interests. So schedule in some time every week to partake in your varied interests, so that you are not feeling left out. And so you're not feeling that you are separated from them, or you're not feeling that you are in the wrong career, wrong job, because it's not fulfilling these interests. So that's one way to remedy it. Another thing you need to stop doing is stop bouncing around from job to job. If you are this person who's physically moving jobs, like I said, if you're not physically moving jobs, you're always mentally checking out. But yeah, you need to stick to a job so that you can get the benefits of that position. So you can start saving more, because that's what's going to increase your finances, is stability. You guys are seriously coming off like air signs. Like Libra. I'm seeing like Libra is screaming at me right now. So you guys need to be a little bit more like an earth sign. So yeah, start embodying an earth sign. Pick an earth sign. Capricorn is a good one. And start embodying the characteristics of that earth sign. Try to be a little bit more stable and grounded. Okay. So maybe you guys also need to ground more. But yes, so stop bouncing around from job to job, because you need the benefits from the position that kick in like a couple months after you've been there. You need the time to be able to accumulate a savings account, to increase your savings account. You need that time. You need time. That's what you need. And you guys are not giving places enough time. Also, you need to come to terms with the fact that you're not going to be able to check off every box that you have and get a dream job that is able to check off every single box that you guys have mentally about what to do with your interests, because no one job is going to embody all of your interests. So the best thing you can hope for is a job that embodies one major interest of yours, and then you need to partake in the other interests on your own time, in your free time. So stop feeling like you're missing out on stuff. Find a job that allows you to partake in at least one of your interests, and be satisfied with that, knowing that you cannot find a job that's going to have absolutely everything, that it just doesn't exist. Let me see if I'm seeing anything else. We have the Avenger card in reverse. We're resorting to violence in the name of a cause. Let's get another card to clarify that. Visionary, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So you guys are visionaries. You're, like I said, you're always thinking about You're always thinking about other things that you're not doing. When you're doing something, you always want to be doing something else. And you kind of feel like you're being denied these pleasures, and you kind of like want to avenge yourself to because you've been denied these pleasures and you feel like it's unfair. We have this Destroyer card that I pulled, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for a new life. So I see you guys always preparing for a new life. So you're always leaving your old life behind and moving on to a new one, like remaking your life. And this is what's causing you all of your instability. And yeah, so you're always just kind of destroying what you have, ending what you have, and starting again, trying again, hoping that you're going to be able to get everything in one job, in one place. We have this Child Nature card. You guys were coming off very sportive and active, outdoorsy to me. And this just confirms that with this Child Nature card. You guys are outdoorsy and sportive and very active and musical. Those are what are coming out to me. But like I said, you have varied interests. So yeah, basically you need to settle down essentially in order to fix your career and your finances, because I see you guys having like a bunch of jobs but like no long-term career. So with you guys, you need a long-term career, you need stability, you need to settle down both mentally and physically. Don't neglect the mental aspect, because that's going to drive you crazy. If you keep thinking, oh, I'm missing out, then it's going to drive you crazy when you're in your job. So you don't want to keep mentally checking out of the job that you're in. So just get that stability so that you can increase your savings account and get the benefits and all that kind of stuff. That's what you guys need. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you and resonated. Let me know if it did, and I'll see you in my next reading.